Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the 25th anniversary Grand Seiko 9F Quartz GMT SBGN003, celebrating 1 century of the thermocompensated marvel, first launched in 1993, and this is a historic reference, part of the family featuring the first ever 9F Quartz GMT movement. So, a special occasion for a special movement and a special variant. For your wrist, that means 39mm in stainless steel, an easy watch to wear. Part of the 2018 festivities celebrating a quarter century of one of the most advanced watch movements, mechanical or electronic, ever made. It's an easy one to wear on my 16cm circumference wrist. It effectively wears like a mid-size watch. 12.2mm thick with a conical bezel, it fits easily beneath the cuff. Lug-to-lug not including the bracelet, it's 45.5mm. If you include the solid end link on each side, it's a still reasonable 49.6mm with 19mm spacing between the lugs, and you can see there are apertures for strap tools, so this watch is a natural and intentional match for many types of straps. We're not talking Rolex here. This is a watch that would actually look right and feel right on a strap. Now jump into the bracelet itself. It's a handsome but simple piece. You can see its most striking feature is that the center links are elevated somewhat above the flanking links, so it has a three-dimensional effect to it. The flanks are of high polish, the tops are satin, there's an intermediate staggered pattern to break up the mass of metal. You can see the center links aren't perfectly aligned with the flanking links. This being a steel Grand Seiko bracelet, the individual removable links are fixed by screws. You can see there's a half link for precise sizing, and close it all up, and you can see there's a second half link on the opposite side. It is a twin trigger system with a machined folding clasp internal, so very secure. The twin triggers ensure that this one can't pop open. Note the attention to detail with the logo itself being relieved polished in the base satin finish, and that's just the clasp. The case band features Grand Seiko's famed Solace Machine Zaratsu optically smooth mirror-like finish, although in a more muted and discreet application than on most Grand Seiko cases. Here, it's reserved for the bevel itself, and only the bevel, which contrasts with the satin finish of the caseband and the interfacing of the lugs, which universally on all four corners is satin. The crown is shielded by a pair of tapered shear guards. You can see that Grand Seiko logo again polished with a satin finished center. That's impressive work, and that's just on the crown. The bezel is best described as very similar to and slightly narrower than the Rolex Explorer 2. It's lacquer inside a circular brushed satin finish, and then the dial is handsome in that it is a gloss mirrored black base, black lacquer, and there's a flange outboard. You can see that there is a night and day break between the top half of the semicircular flange and the bottom, and that's in place because you also have a 24-hour hand, red varnished, to trace an independent second time zone. All of the dial furniture is on the mechanical Grand Seikos, and the hands beautifully executed, diamond polished, hand faceted, and then placed by hand to create an upscale aesthetic. Also note the Grand Seiko logo at 12 o'clock. The GS is applique. Now the watch is fully loomed, so there will be a loom shot. You have the ability to independently adjust the hour hand. You can see how while I'm traveling, I'm able to change my local hour. I'm even able to jump forward or backwards and change the date as I cross the international date line, while my reference time zone, my seconds, and my minutes remain unimpeded. Now you pull the crown out all the way, and you can hack the seconds, stop the seconds, set the watch precisely to a reference time. This is where you'll see that 24-hour hand, which, take note, is fully loomed, will move in sync. There's also a faceted and polished metal aperture for the date wheel, which is monotone black. All of that speaking to refinement. The monotone disc as well as that faceted metallic applique aperture. No corners cut here. Screw down crown. You can see the case back featuring polish and a frosted center, a concentric circular brush grain outboard, and then high polish on the outermost face of the case back. 100 meters water resistant screw down crown. What's inside is caliber 9F86, precise to plus or minus 10 seconds per year. It features a lot of refinements that you'll only find in the most precise chronometer grade Swiss quartz movements, including thermocompensation, which allows the watch to maintain its precision in the face of high or low temperatures. Most quartz movements don't have that. There is a quartz trimmer that allows the watchmaker to account for the natural drift of the quartz crystal over time. That's a feature that, for example, Rolex put on the oyster quartz and seldom seen elsewhere. It's an important feature of this 9-jewel caliber 9F. It is a watchmaker made and watchmaker assembled system. In fact, 2 watchmakers are involved in regulating and tuning this watch. One is involved in the cam and spring-based date change system. So one watchmaker is responsible for the snap of that cam and spring-based date change. And then a second watchmaker constructs and regulates, oils and adjusts, ships and approves that final 9F movement. This is by no means a machine-made caliber. It features a 3-year power reserve. It features a end-of-life indicator, so when you get to the very end, you'll see the seconds hand jumping in 2-second increments. That's your sign that you need to replace the battery. The watch does feature a double pulse system that helps to provide adequate torque for long, graceful hands without using excessive power. There's usually a trade-off between power reserve and the length of the hands used on a dial. The double pulse system allows you to have both power reserve and long, graceful hands. It also features a backlash adjustment system that ensures the seconds hand always lines up precisely with the indices themselves. Two features seldom, if ever, seen on Swiss Quartz calibers. This is a full-service sports watch, water-resistant, versatile, all of steel, fully loomed. It could be the only watch you wear, and if you're going to own just one Grand Seiko, a landmark special edition complication would be the way to go. See this one and make it yours on the watch box. Grand Seiko SBGN003. Note the 24-hour hand is loomed along with the local hour and minute at center.